is so itchy under the table right now.
Home and garden. My first thought was regarding a barbecue grill cleaning service because it is my least favorite job. Going out there and scrubbing out, cleaning out the barbecue grill.
It's nasty.
It's just a pain in the butt. And I think this is just a great, easy, simple idea business for someone that's like either a high school kid, a college kid to start off, or somebody to add it on. And this is kind of, we've talked about similar things before. It's almost an add-on business.
Yeah,
but I don't think it is. I actually saw somewhere did this as a business, and they have a big full-blown business with this.
Going around to people's homes, cleaning their grills.
Like Florida, Arizona, California, somewhere where the weather's nice.
Well, you can always grill out and you want to have someone.
Right.
Yeah. So rather than a house cleaning service, I mean, are there any other examples of
pool services?
Pool services,
cleaning.
That would be the one.
I think it's a good add-on to pool service businesses.
No, it is an add-on. I'm just curious, like what other services do you have people coming around to clean one thing? Gutters?
Yeah.
Walkways?
Pools.
Snow shoveling?
Yeah. Landscaping, I mean, that's one thing. It's landscaping,
That would be handy.
I would say, from May to, in places like we have, where we actually have winter, May through September.
I mean, it's about 6 months there.
Where I'm using the grill multiple times a week. But I just think it's a great, simple, hey, I got laid off of work. I need to create a business.
Yeah.
If you just ran a Facebook ad that just said grill cleaning, $50.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
I like
that's my first idea. Sweet and simple.
Adult Legos. Not woodworking projects, not a masonry project, not kiddie Lego, universal building blocks for quick solutions to annoying problems around the house. Need a monitor stand, a step stool, a different step stool. By the way, this is from Mir Young Frauman. I'm not sure what the username is, pronunciation is. I could foresee a system that includes blocks of different shapes, arms, brackets, cable holders, clips, anything to make things as simple as possible, disassemble, then make something new. It has potential to go way beyond just like building blocks Legos, because if you think about it, uprights, flats, brackets. Do you guys? I grew up playing with Meccano or Meccano. It's like a metal thing, a step up from Legos, where you actually have screws and nuts and bolts and motors, propellers, wheels.
What was the thing?
I forget I think I've seen it here as well.
Erector sets.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then we had some other robo something when I was a kid.
But I could see a system where everything works with everything else. Tubing, wiring, motors, wheels, pulleys, brackets to hold things together.
But it's like serious. It's not a toy.
It's because you need something. It's utilitarian. It's because you need something very specific. How many times have you gone to like Home Depot or Lowe's and you're just trying to solve a problem? And maybe it's a Northeast thing where these homes are so old, you have a very unique problem to solve. A space requirement, a stability requirement. None of the angles in my house are 90 degrees. And so you see these people like myself walking around Home Depot like this. Hey, do I go down the hardware aisle? Do I go down the shelving aisle? I think I know what I need to build. Do I need to get a bunch of lumber and some nails, or can I jerry rig one of these pre-built? Things like this. And I can foresee this kind of thing being super useful. You need a special kind of shelf. Maybe it's not a permanent thing, but at least you want to try out the idea.
Prop something up.
But I actually think this has the potential to be massive. I think this could be an entire industry. Yeah. And I went on and I was thinking about this. And one of the ideas that occurred to me was you would then start seeing people actually putting out plans using all these individual elements, putting them online as building plans, like what you see people doing now, like 3D animators and modelers selling their models online. I could see that
3D printing stuff.
3D printing, it's exactly what I'd written down.
It's kind of 3D printing, but ready-made.
And I think that could has the potential. And I'm not even sure if it's necessarily for homeowners. It could be the kind of thing that would find better use in other areas. I have no idea where. I think it's got legs, that kind of thing. I've built so many things out of wood, and I've wasted a lot of wood. It's easy to work with, but sometimes I just want something that's extensible, like maybe the panels that you get with this thing, like they just click together.
Yeah.
And then they can screw in, and they're pretty sturdy, and you can make them into different configurations.
Right. It just needs some figuring out still.
For sure. I think there'd be a lot of R&D for that. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I struggle with regularly is just having enough time, right? I mean, everybody does. You don't have enough time. And I want some help, right? But there's no good way. I know there's a couple services out there, and depending where you live in the country, there's no great way to hire day labor. Just somebody, and I'm not talking about hire, like we talked about before, somebody cleaning the grill or a housekeeper or the pool guy.
A handyman.
Or a handyman. I'm talking about, I just have something today that I need either help with, it's basically like a virtual assistant, but not virtual.
Like Geek Squad, but for home projects.
Just for anything. And it's not a handyman. I also am kind of picky about like handyman stuff. I'm very handy. I do all my electrical and plumbing.
Yeah. Well, I try to. Same here.
Right. Like I enjoy doing that stuff. It's just, sometimes I might need somebody just to help me. Like I get a delivery, right, of something large that needs to go upstairs.
Yeah.
And that's
what I was
my
thinking
wife
of.
and my 8-year-old aren't going to help me. I just need an extra, just strong person there to lend me a hand. You can drive down to the Home Depot parking lot and there's day labor waiting to work, right? There needs to be kind of like a more Uber-y solution for that where I can...
again, I think of Geek Squad, but even less formal than that.
No, less formal. Just like, hey, I need help today. I'm installing a toilet on the second floor. I need an extra pair of hands. Again, and this is a theme. I've talked about this before. There needs to be more on-demand help. Like, I need you for a couple hours. That's it. I don't want a commitment.
Contracts.
Right. I don't need a contract. I mean, we can have an ongoing contract by signing up for the service. You agree to the terms.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I don't want an ongoing thing. I just want to pay one off with Apple Pay or Venmo or whatever.
That's good. The idea is to have, I guess a handyman is the closest thing you would find to it, but basically someone to come over to your house to assist you with a specific kind of project. Again, not hiring a plumber who is going to charge you just to show up, let alone even do any work, right? At least in Rhode Island. But a handyman. And the reason that this one struck a chord is I don't even know how it was recommended to us, but he ended up coming over one day when one of our rooms needed to be entirely stripped, demolished, and rebuilt. He shows up and he spent almost the entire day with my wife and I showing us what drill bits to use, what screws you need, how to cut and break drywall.
Yeah.
Things I didn't know at all about. What kind of drywall do you even buy? Like, I didn't know. He went to Home Depot with us. We picked it out. He's got his pickup truck there. Another added plus.
So he's like a handyman educator.
A handyman educator, a DIY assistant. You almost want to be an apprentice for a day. Yeah. And if I was going to start the service, that's what I would call it, apprentice for a day. Yeah. Hire me out, not me, of course. Hire me out. I will show you how to change out a toilet, replace a toilet, seat a toilet right, how to put a new sink in, how to, drywall a room. But this guy, he had specific info on things that first-time homeowners did not know.
I'd say the average homeowner probably doesn't have much of a clue with a lot of these things.
I mean, because it's like anything. Unless you're going on YouTube, even when you're going on YouTube, you can learn a bit.
I mean, hands-on experience. Like, it really, when you've built houses.
I replaced a dryer drum belt. From watching a YouTube video.
But that's a lot different than
probably wouldn't
ripping out a kitchen or a bathroom.
Putting up 2x4s and actually building a frame. Like I learned that from watching someone who redid our upstairs closet. And had I not actually been there helping him, handing him stuff, watching him cut stuff, how he cut stuff.
That's apprenticing. I mean,
apprenticing, exactly. Apprentice for a day.
Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about is a couple devices for the home, or appliances, you can call them whatever you want, that I've always wanted. I mentioned earlier one problem we had currently was weeding the garden beds. Why is there not now there's these lawnmowers now, these robotic like Roomba type
right.
lawnmowers
Yeah.
that automated, they map out your yard and they cut the grass and they do a pretty good job. I've been watching a bunch of them on YouTube.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good job. Why is there not a robot for weeding like mulch and garden beds?
It's a lot trickier, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. And is it like laser zapping them? Is it because plucking them's kind of hard?
Well,
is
plucking
it just
them, you have to really pluck them. You have to get them from
get
the
down?
roots.
You're right. So is it just like?
Is it
would
like
you need something
the
that,
Mars rover where it goes in with the thing and it
cores
extracts it,
like,
cores it like a potato corer? Yeah.
So anyway,
Wait,
that's
potato core. Is that a thing? No, what's the apple
potato
corer?
core.
If you have any potatoes that need coring, do we have the tool for you?
If you have potatoes that need coring, you need new potatoes.
That's how you make French fries, each one.
And then so that's one device, and then the other device that I have wanted forever is a mini, and I hold this up to give some dimensional idea because I think that's about the size of it, the size of like this mic, kind of this middle size.
Yeah, it's pretty generous.
Vacuum cleaner with water. So it squirts out water and sucks up the water at the same time.
Like a mini
pressure washer with a vacuum.
The wet vac. Is that what they call a wet vac?
Yeah. Like the wet vac you use for like the carpet. Like you use it for the carpet. Like they have those crazy.
For what? For stains?
No, for any household things. The thing that I always think of that this would be useful for is the windowsills. Inside your windowsill, when you put the window up inside where the double hung window.
It's all nasty in there.
It's all nasty and bugs and dirt. And you got to wipe it out and spray it and wipe, and you can never get in the track enough. Yeah. Right? It's that type of thing. Crevices.
Simonizing is
in
that
the
right?
car.
For a car detailers use something like that for the upholstery.
Yeah.
But you want a handheld version.
I want a little battery powered handheld, basically like a dust buster,
with a
small
water
dust
reservoir.
buster,
Like where's the water
with a
coming
water
from?
reservoir that squirts it out a nozzle under decent pressure.
So maybe like a minute long worth of water that it can just like a one quick job.
Yeah, you're
not going around your whole house.
Maybe it holds 12 ounces of water, squirts the water out under pressure.
How much suction is it? Just enough to get the water back because the water's dirty.
It's like
now.
a wet dry vac that also squirts water out under a little bit of pressure.
A little mini Simonizer almost.
Yeah.
Oh, Martinizing. What the heck is the difference? Simon and Martin. Who are these people?
That's my favorite band, Simon and Martin. Martinizing, I think, is dry cleaning.
Stains, my old friend.
I think Martinizing is dry cleaning clothing. This is a perfect Dyson product. To me,
I was
it
just
was always
thinking Dyson because of the cyclone.
To me, it was always like a hard surface thing because the one thing I've always wanted it for really is that windowsill.
I saw this idea and I love it. This was by Rush 1988. Earlier we were talking about when you need someone to come by and help you, maybe carry dirt bags outside. You got your leaves and all your sticks.
I hate when that guy's over.
Yeah, I need some help to remove this dirt bag from my house. The one who would help me carry the heavy television set.
With all the squatting going on, you might actually have something there.
So the idea here is when you're out there, especially on windy fall days, and you've got those paper bags open and you're trying to put the leaves in them, you're raking leaves. The bag doesn't always stay open. The paper bags are good. I like them personally because they're all compostable. They can all go to the same place. They can all get dumped.
Yep.
However, I think this guy is a professional contractor because he mentions about how they get worn out from constant use. And the bags that they use, I guess, must be the nylon ones. I think he also used them, said ton bags, which I had to look up. I don't know what ton bags are. I think maybe it's an American term. Ton bags are, I think, the woven nylon white bags. Yeah. They're typically very big, I guess, because they can carry a ton. But the idea being, would there be some kind of bracket or wire thing that you might just quickly fit into the
We bought one of these for my mother-in-law years ago.
So the ones that exist?
It was made of a heavy corrugated plastic, right? And it was foldable. It folds flat.
Yeah, okay.
And then it comes out into this square rectangular funnel shape. And it inserts into the top of the bag.
Now,
and it holds the bag open and gives you like a funnel thing.
And the bag doesn't tip over.
I mean,
That's what I wonder about because the ton bags, they seem to have an inbuilt structure already.
I think if I remember, I used to just put them inside of a trash barrel, like one of the big like Rubbermaid
Oh, and then you would just cinch
barrels.
that up. Oh,
and,
I
and
got you.
I would put the paper bag inside just so it would hold it up.
So it wouldn't tip over.
And
Yeah,
dump it in.
yeah. Like a garden hack there. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do.
I need to go and
if I
look that up
remember.
because when I first saw this, I'm like, yeah, I like this idea because I see my wife out there, especially in the fall,
Sure.
with the amount of leaves that we get, and then the bags don't stay open; they get wet, and they're not full.
I love how
the
it's
next
always
day.
I'm
wife,
watching from the kitchen window
From the
as
comfort
my
of my
wife
home.
as my wife picks up the yard.
Hey, the bag fell over
Get
again.
that dirt bag.